Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the Microtech Sigil MK6 here with me. And as usual, we're going to analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy. First of all, let's just do a quick size comparison. Here is up against Para 3 from Spyderco. And this is your PM2, Paramilitary 2, right over there. So as you can see, handle is kind of like very similar, but the cutting edge is a little bit more on the Microtech. And then we've got F95 from Shirogorov, another beauty right there. And just because this is quite similar in the back, we're going to see it later, this is the Riken Knives District 9. And yes, of course, let's just do classic large Sebenza 21 by Chris Reeve knives. So, all right, here we go. Let's just start analyzing the look of this guy, because it's very interesting. This design is an original one done by Derek Munro in collaboration with Marfione. So, because Anthony Marfione owns Microtech, this is not the custom, this is just a Microtech, and but it's designed by Derek Munro, and I find this design really appealing. It's the main reason why I was interested into buying this one. So this is made in the US, and these lines are like just very distinctive of the Sigil. So this is around like $500 knife, so it's not cheap whatsoever, but the work that went into this one is remarkable, because the amount of milling and detail, it's quite outstanding. So very nice job they've done in this one. This version is, has a pretty nice brass polished presentation scale, as you can see right over here. There's like these 6 grooves milled out and, intersected by this line over here. This is basically the only curve you're gonna see. I mean, a little bit over here, but mostly, like straight lines are gonna be decorating both the handles, the presentation and the lock side. So very interesting design. I mean, it's quite like futuristic, especially in the back. This one resembles, this guy a little bit. You see some, resemblance going on. You see like this like vent kind of grid thing, and the topographic, the different layers. So it's very similar, but different in price, of course. So this is it's a very interesting frame lock overall, because so on the inside, the scales here, you can check like over here, they have been skeletonized to reduce the weight. You see down there, so they remove material from the inside to reduce the weight, and that's a pretty cool thing. When closed, this is 4.9 inches long, and so it's going to be quite editable. I mean, not too big and not too small. There's a nice flipper tab right over here, which resembles the one in the Shirogorov, as you can check. Look at this. So the profile, it's very similar. This has a little bit more milling going on the sides, but overall the profile is very good, because it has to go like down here, and it has a little bit of jimping over like on this side, so you get a little bit of grip when you flip your knife open. So very nice. You also have pretty much chamfered edges all around, as well as some inner chamfering. So it's not gonna feel like sharp whatsoever, in your hand. You have a very cool machined backspacer, which is in titanium, and it has been DLC'd, and it has like a lanyard hole built in. So very nice. There's some jimping going on. It's sticking out. They milled out, you see the handle over here, to accommodate your lanyard passing through. On this side, if you check, they did a pretty nice job, because there's a pretty cool, over travel stop around the pivot, which also serves as a keyed in pivot. So this is not spinning, which is great. 2 functions in one piece. Very nice. You also have a lock face steel insert right over here to eliminate lock stick, and which is, you know, kept in place by these two screws right there. The lock bar relief is a little bit on the, you see, like I would have preferred maybe something a little bit deeper to, you know, rather than, you know, have to, you know, turn and jam your thumb like this. It's not a big deal, but maybe a little bit more relief here, you know, would have been nice. There's no ceramic detent ball here, just a steel one, and the screws are just proprietary screws. So you're gonna need a tool, like actually two, like these, this for the pivot and this for the other screws to disassemble this guy, which is, you know, it's going to be pretty straightforward and very, very easy to do if you need to maintain or clean it up and lube it. So very, very simple. You also notice that these screws are, you know, DLC coated and they're not protruding. So they're very, very nicely recessed down, you know, in the scale. So you also have, you know, this pretty cool, you know, machined titanium stone washed clip, you know, to match the finish on the lock side, which has, you know, a quite steep ramp, like clip ramp over here, but it's not going to be an issue like sliding in and out of your pocket. This is tip up only, it's not reversible, it's not ambidextrous, but it's beautifully designed. The latest model, they have this springy clip, which is like you have to push down here and the clip is gonna just raise up there, and then you just slide it in your pocket and it's gonna clamp down with a spring to your pocket. So very, very interesting design. If you check the blade, I think it's beautifully designed, guys. This is 3.75 Elmax Beauty, and it has a cool DLC finish. You know, I start to like, you know, the black DLC finish. I think it's gonna look amazing, you know, matched with this brass scale. I mean, the contrast it's very nice. This is a Warncliffe style point, and the stock is relatively thick, I would say. It's not the thinnest, but it's not like crazy, and, you know, tapers down to a pretty fine point. And it does with, like, you know, of course, some jimping right over here, which is not too aggressive, very, very functional. And then it has like 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines to create this, you know, nice curve. It's not a curve, it's like just 4 straight lines. But I love that because, you know, on the last one you have, you know, this swedge, you know, there's some chamfering going on a little bit, but this is mainly like a swedge, which create this nicely, you know, geometric pattern up top here, and in the, like, to you know, and you have the flats over here, like to delineate the main grind, just reaching right over here and right over there. So you see, very, very interesting, symmetric, absolutely symmetric job they've done. I'm a fan of this kind of grind. Very, very nice. You have a flat grind over here with a gentle, very, very gentle belly. It's not like flat, this edge is just only belly up to the sharpening joint. This blade is quite thin behind the edge, and you have a nice also finger choil. You know, this is gonna be very, very useful if you want to choke it up and do some and gain some more precision and control during your cut. Also, you know, you have you know, a little bit of angle over here for the plunge grind, so it's not perpendicular, it's angled, but it's gently angled like that. I like this one. And yeah, overall, you know, you have a nice nice blade shape. I'm a fan of this guy. What I'm not a fan of is the incredibly busy billboarding going on here. You know, you have serial number, the brand, the location, the model, the date, the steel. The other side is clean, but I think this side is a little bit too crowded. But, you know, this is, you know, the nature of the sigil. It has some billboarding going on. Not a huge deal, but, you know, something that I always prefer, you know, not to be there. The overall length is 8.7 inches, so it's very reasonable. And let's check out some sound, because this guy has a quite peculiar noise. You see, this is the noise it makes. So it's like it's a mellow sound. It's not like sharp or loud or like, you see, it's very, very soft. It's a nice and controlled clang. I like these guys. And when you close the knife, you hear this very, very gentle, it's a little thump, a little, you know, gentle click, which is almost inaudible. It's very pleasant. I was surprised, you know, I was expecting something much louder, but no, I mean, it's like, for example, I just got this District 9. This is quite loud. So that's like a pretty solid but also loud thwack. That's this. And this, you know. So hear this. Very, very muffled and like controlled. So they both run on bearings. So it's just the internal stop pin which is creating this very, very gentle noise, which I'm a fan of. Let's check out some feelings. So the weight on this guy is like 6.5 ounces. So not like a lightweight champion, but still doable. You have no hot spots when you grip, you know, in your grip. So the ergos are pretty nicely done. Even if I was thinking, you know, when I saw this one, I said, you know, that clip is gonna bug me, but actually no, it's not there. So there are no really sharp edges around, and it's gonna feel quite comfortable in your hand. So the grip is very good, I have to say. You can also do like a nice you know, nice reverse grip like this, and you can even choke up like that because of the presence of the finger choil. So very, very nice option you've got. And you know, anyways, the feeling, it's gonna feel, you know, it's gonna be really, really solid. I like this one. The texture is grippy because, you know, of all this milling work that went into the scale. So it's not gonna feel like slippery at all, and it's a good thing. Overall, the fit and finish is bang on. I mean, it's you know, I don't see any gaps or anything like bending, or you know, it's well put together. There's no blade play, you know, it feels really, really solid. There's you know, also like the clip, it feels really great. There's the right spring tension to it. So overall, very, very well built. The deployment speed is probably not the fastest, but it's very smooth. And also, like, because they designed the flipper tab really nicely, you're not gonna have any finger sore if you know, are gonna be fidgeting with this guy. Also, you can do both like a light switch like this, or you can just do like a push button like that, and you see like some area chamfered out, milled out, in order for your fingertip, just when you flip this, just to rest a little bit deeper onto the scales. So you're not gonna be like hitting directly the scale like that, but you have a little recessed area, so it's gonna give you a little bit more pleasure, and it's gonna be a little bit more comfortable. So overall, this knife is very smooth in the opening. It's running on plastic caged bearings, and you know, the detent, it's dialed in. I mean, it's a little bit on the light side, I would say, but nothing, you know, nothing too crazy. So it's overall very, very nice. There's no way you're gonna be able to touch the tip, you know, of the blade, which is, by the way, yeah, centered, maybe favoring a tad, you know, the presentation side, but you know, nothing to worry about. Something that I'm probably not a fan of is that the lock release relief, it's not that deep, so you just have to jam a little bit more your thumb like that in order to disengage the lock. There's no lock stick because of the, you know, steel insert in the lock face right over there, and also there's a nice detent ball ramp. So you see, the detent ball is quite big, and you see that, you know, there's a ramp right inside, right on the tank of the blade right there. So you're not gonna have like any hard stop when you're gonna close the blade. So very interesting. When you unlock the blade, you're gonna have, you know, you just blade free falling like that. And if you rotate the handle, you have just to do a gentle wiggle in order for the blade to close down. So it's not going to be like 100% guillotine effect, but it's going to be overall a very, very satisfying action. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.